Hi. This is my Triumph Daytona. It's a 2003 Centenary 955i. So it's the later model of the Daytona 955i, which means it's got the single-sided swinging arm. A few months ago, I was riding this bike along, and the oil light came on. So I had no choice. I was on one of those smart motorways with nowhere to stop, and I wasn't far from my junction, so I thought I'm going to take the risk and drove it off the motorway, which might have resulted in fatal damage. We don't really know, but I was hoping to find that it was just basically an electrical fault, like the oil pressure sensor had stopped working. But in fact, I tried changing the pressure sensor, and then after that, I found that there was actually no oil coming out towards the pressure sensor, which was obviously not a very good sign at all, even though there was plenty of oil in the sump and everything. So either I'm looking at a failure of the oil pump or the oil pump relief valve, which basically takes the excess pressure and just takes the outlet of the pump and puts it back into the sump. So if that jammed open, then you wouldn't get any oil circulating. So that's my best bet as to what's happened. But the problem is that the oil pump is located right behind the clutch there, so all of this needs to come away. And the problem is undoing this bolt, undoing this nut here to get the clutch apart, that you're supposed to have a special tool for doing it, and I don't have the special tool, and I didn't really want to wait around and order one, particularly not as it cost £18. And I thought I'll save myself some money for something I'm only going to probably ever use once, and make myself a 3D print. So basically, I went on Fusion 360. I basically just did the measurements from just with a ruler, pretty much. I used a digital caliper as well, but most of the measurements were just a ruler, and I've ended up with this basically, which locks the hubs together, and then the clutch bolts go in and hold that tight to the center and also lock it to the outside. But further than that, I want to be able to get the whole assembly to be held rigid. So we have this bit goes around the outside there and sticks into this part here, and that will just stop the whole thing from rotating. So we're going to give that a go and see whether that loosens off the clutch, and hopefully it'll work. Now, I did a little, what would you call it, difference of opinion with the old AI, which said that I couldn't build a plastic tool that worked. I said I could, and so we're going to find out which one of us is right, but my money is on me, obviously. So let's give it a go and see what happens. So I'm going to get this put on there, and we're going to give it a go. So finally, I can get this nut off here. I think that this is now aligned correctly for the clutch bolts. So let's just push that into place. There it goes, lovely snug fit. We've got it fitted. So my main worry is because this is slightly ridged in the middle, it might cause it to fracture inside there. But all in all, I think this is a pretty robust arrangement. So I've got the old breaker bar on it. So without further ado, let's see if I can get this thing to work. Oh, this is shifted. Oh, yeah. Straight off, no problem at all.